All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are doing well. And as we always do on Tuesday, we're going to take a look at how the young players on this Seahawks team are holding up. And once again, for yet another week, I have to say, overall, it's looking pretty good. When you have this many high profile young players on your team, it's usually going to be looking pretty bright. So let's break it down here one by one, player by player, starting with the running backs. And it was an interesting day for both young running backs on this team, Walker and Charbonnet. It was really tough for them to get successful plays on the ground. But when they did, they tended to be big plays. Like Walker had the 45-yarder, Charbonnet busted off a couple of big plays. Um, that kind of stuff really helps boost the overall effectiveness, even though the success rate remains relatively low. So Walker came out of this game with not a huge chunk of yards because honestly, he didn't get the ball that much. He did not get in the end zone. His PFF grade went up a little bit. So through 7 games now, he has just under 100 yards from scrimmage per game, which seems about right to me. That seems about fair. I don't expect him to get to 100 a game this year because we have Charbonnet and because we have a prolific passing attack in theory. So Walker continues to grind it out. Charbonnet, it was probably the best game of his career, and his PFF grade went down a couple points, so figure that one out. Also, really like what Charbonnet's doing as a blitz picker upper, or a pass protector, however you want to put it. So yeah, impressed by both guys. Happy with what we're getting from both guys. Walker's on pace for close to 1,500 yards, and Charbonnet's on pace for probably around 500 yards. And I think most people would be pretty happy with that if that's your 1-2 punch. Wide receivers, we're also getting more stuff from this group as well. JSN scores the game-winning touchdown. He has 3 catches on the day. Still not massive yardage or anything yet, but you can see JSN slowly working his way into this offense. Remember, he's not necessarily going to have a lot of games where he has like 150 yards and 12 catches and 3 touchdowns because of his teammates. This team is too good and too deep with the playmakers on offense. So good game for him. His grade went up a little bit. Bobo gets in the end zone again, unconventionally, but he made a couple other catches as well. PFF grade fell a little bit, but that's only because it's so high. It kind of has to go down at some point. So in terms of these offensive playmakers, the Seahawks are doing about as good as you could possibly hope for. We are getting good production from 4 young guys. Offensive line now. This one's kind of interesting. This one's kind of weird. We have Charles Cross, who allowed a few pressures in this game. I think it was like 4. His run block grade was really bad, and his grade overall from PFF was actually bad. It was like 45 or something. I'm not buying it. I think this is going to have to be an instance where I employ heuristics, right? We were playing the Cleveland Browns, maybe the best defense in the league. They've got Myles Garrett, they've got Zadarius Smith, they've got Dalvin Tomlinson. It's a really good front. And Geno got sacked once, and pressure was not a huge problem throughout that game overall, I don't think. So, how did Cross play bad? I don't see it. The one sack he allowed, which he did allow the sack against Myles Garrett. You're going to allow sacks to Myles Garrett sometimes. So, I got to disagree with PFF's grading here. They graded him very poorly. I don't see it. The only other young offensive lineman who played in this game was Anthony Bradford. He allowed a few pressures, I think 3, but his grade overall was really strong. His run block grade jumped significantly in this game. It's almost up to 70. Um, Overall PFF grade is solid, 63. That's a valuable NFL player in the modern NFL. That is a solid. That is effective. And I'm more than happy to take that from a guy like Bradford, who is very, very raw and very, very inexperienced, even at the college level. So, pretty happy with what we're getting here. Remember, Abe Lucas still trying to work his way back, so we're not even including him right now, but we all know what Abe Lucas is capable of doing when he's out there. Now we move on to the defense here. Cam Young was the only young defensive lineman who played in this game, but he made his impact known. He had 3 tackles in this game on 16 snaps, pretty efficient. PFF grade did fall a little bit, but overall, he's providing plus level play to this defensive line, and we need it. We may not need it as much going forward because we've now got Leonard Williams, but Cam Young he has grinded out there for these last few games in particular, I think. I'm happy with what we're seeing from Cam Young so far. It was a little bit better than I was expecting. I didn't have super high expectations for Cam Young this rookie year, but he's actually been a little bit of a playmaker here given how little he plays. Linebacker Drake Thomas, he continues to just play on special teams. PFF grade on special teams went up to a 50.4, so not particularly good, but whatever. He doesn't play enough for it to matter even on that level, really. He's not even one of our top special teamers. Uh, edge rusher. This is where things get a little bit more fun because you always get to talk about Boye Mafe, who kills it in pretty much every game now. Every game he's getting pressures, he's getting QB hits, and he now has 5 straight games with 1 sack. Wow. You do not see that very often in the NFL, one player getting a sack in 5 straight games. So he picked up, I think it was, let me make sure I get the number here right. Dang it. What the heck? There we go. 8 tackles in this game, actually, and he, I think, had 4 QB hits. So pretty productive. Let me zoom back in here because it's a little bit easier to see on the video. But yeah, Boye Mafe had one of the best games of his career, I think. A sack, 4 QB hits, I want to say, and something like, yeah, 8 tackles. Like, really, really good stuff, and we're going to need him to continue to be this good because he's not getting the support that we thought he was going to have thanks to Nwosu being out. Derek Hall picked up a few tackles in this game. PFF grade got destroyed because he played the run poorly. And you get what you get with these younger players. When you're a young player in the NFL, usually you're not good against the run. Boye Mafe was a aberration in that regard. And I like Derek Hall. I don't think he's playing badly for us. I think he's doing about the best that he can. He's providing some positive things in the pass rush. And I like where his career is going, but against the run, he's just not there yet. And hopefully he can get there. But if he could get there a little bit sooner, I think this current iteration of the Seahawks would appreciate it. And that's it. Tyreek Smith was not active in this game. Cornerback, Tariq Woolen does some good stuff. And he got screwed in this game, but with the pass interference call on 4th down. And he still ended up having a pretty decent game. His grade went up a couple points. He had 2 pass breakups, including the interception. He picked up a few tackles as well. Good game for Woolen. It seems like there are just a couple plays where he's just a little out of position. I don't know if there's a little bit of a confidence thing going on with him, but I feel like he can be better than this. Granted, we'd probably be feeling very differently about his game if that PBU he had on 4th down was allowed to stand, which it absolutely should have. So you take what you can get sometimes, and what we got was an interception and another pass breakup, and generally overall good play. Witherspoon, I think he gave up like 1 catch in this game, had a few tackles, no pass breakups for the first time in a while. His grade did fall a little bit, but that was just because he didn't do anything extraordinary. He was just solid. He was good. He was fine. Sometimes you're just going to be fine in this league. So Witherspoon still having a very special rookie season. That's it for the rookie corners. And then you got Jarek Reed, who picked up another tackle on special teams. His special teams grade continues to be excellent, 81.5. One of the best special teamers on this team. And he's making his presence felt on that side of the ball for sure. All right, so those are your young players. Let me know what you guys think down below. I will see you guys later. Go Hawks. Things are looking good on this front.